Okay, we're going to do a YouTube on the head seal blown head gasket repair from Bars Leak, and this is the professional Bars Leak blown head gasket repair. It's the safest and fastest way to get your show back on the road. It's used with reinforced carbon fiber, has a limited lifetime warranty. It's guaranteed to permanently repair blown head and intake gasket leaks, seal warped, cracked heads and blocks, stops overheating and loss of coolant, fixes bubbles entering the cooling system. One dose stops all head gasket problems, guaranteed, safe and easy to use, works quickly, best repair formula money can buy. It's antifreeze compatible, which is important. No flushing required. This is the Bars Leak head gasket seal for blown head gasket repair. Hello. Well, we've got a 2009 Dodge Avenger here. That's a 2.4 liter engine. It's a 4-cylinder and it has a blown head gasket. We're going to use this Bars Leak head seal and see if we can stop that head leak. The most important thing about using this Bars Leak is that the car is capable of running 15 to 20 minutes on an idle without overheating. So after we install it, it has to idle for 15 to 20 minutes. As long as your car can do that, this stuff is good to go. All right, the other important thing is when we do this, the car has to be cold to put the Bars Leak in. The next important thing is that the cooling capacity of this engine determines how much of this we put in. This particular car has 7.7 US quarts of coolant in it, and that, according to the instructions, says that we only use a half application of Bars Leak. So it's got 34 ounces, fluid ounces, 17 fluid ounces, and then what we've got is a container here that will hold about 17 fluid ounces. So we're going to pour half the bottle in. And the other important thing is that we want to do is before we actually pour it in, we have to shake it up because we want to mix it. You just shook it? Okay, so it's already shaken up and we're going to fill that up. It looks like it's a silver color, and we're going to fill that right up to there. I'm going to save this, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add it to the car. So and start it up. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to add the Bars Leak into the radiator. So we've got it in there right now. Okay, after we added the Bars Leak into the radiator, the next thing we want to do is bring the coolant level back up to its normal level. So that means adding additional coolant or antifreeze into the radiator. The other important thing about this Bars Leak additive is that it is designed to work with antifreeze. Some head sealant additives need to have the radiator flushed and cleaned out prior to adding the additive into, because they don't work with antifreeze. Bars Leak does work with antifreeze. The other important thing is that you want to make sure that your radiator is not clogged up, and if it is clogged or there's a cooling problem because of a clogged radiator, you have to blow out the radiator and flush it through and then add the Bars Leak. It's really cold here right now, so antifreeze is the way to go. Okay, so that's as much as it'll take. All right, so put the cap back on. We've filled it up with antifreeze. And And the next important thing that we have to do is keep the heater on and the fan on high, because when you put the fan on high, it opens up a valve that allows the coolant circulation to go through the heater core. And we're going to let this car idle for 20 minutes and we'll see what happens. So here we're going to start it up right now. Okay, we started the engine and we got the heater on full and the fan's on full, and the temperature right here is at cold. And we noticed that out of the back we've got still some white smoke coming out. And what we're really waiting for is for the thermostat to open up so we can circulate the bars leak and the coolant throughout the whole engine, including the heater core. So let's come back in 20 minutes and see what happens. Okay, well, it's been 20 minutes. We're coming out, we're checking the exhaust. The exhaust is just looks like hot air. It's got some fluid coming out the exhaust. And then the next thing we do is we check the temperature. And the temperature is running toward hot. So, okay, it's been 20 minutes. And now what we do is we turn the car off and we let it sit. We let the car sit for 30 minutes to let it cool down. So we're going to turn it off right now. Okay, it's been 30 minutes and we're going to start the engine up. And we can see that the temperature is at cold. So that's good. So 30 minutes was enough in 20-degree weather to cool down the engine. And we're checking the exhaust. The exhaust looks pretty normal considering the temperature is 20 degrees. So right now what we're going to do is take the car for a drive for about 15 minutes at a slow pace around the block. But first we're going to make sure that the coolant is up to snuff. And it appears that it's a little bit low, but it's not bad. Not bad. We didn't lose much coolant on that last pass. So we're going to add a little bit of coolant. Put the cap back on. And we're ready to go for a ride. Okay. Take it for a little spin. We're following the directions exactly the way Barsley said to do it. Okay. Still cool coming out of the vents, but the engine is still cold, and we'll come back as soon as we have a few minutes on the engine. Okay, we've been running for about 2 minutes now, and we have warm heat coming out of the vents, and the temperature right now is what does it say there, Tony?
It's right at where it should be.
Okay, so it's normal temperature and we have heat coming out of the vents after about 2.5 minutes. So we're going to continue to drive around and not let the engine go above 2,500 RPM. So just a real casual drive. We'll come back in a few minutes. Okay, we're coming in after a 15-minute drive, and we've just got about one more block to go, The engine temperature has remained steady for the 15 minutes. There's been no white smoke out the tailpipe. The temperature of the vent is still warm to lukewarm. It got cool and then it came back to warm. So we're pulling it in, and before you turn off the engine, I want to check that gauge one more time. So when I get out, and the temperature gauge is right there. It's like perfect. Absolutely perfect. We kept the heat on and the fan going the whole time. So I think that this has been a success with bars leak, stopping the head gasket leak. There's no white smoke. There is some smoke coming out, but that's because it's very cold weather. But under acceleration, there was not billows of white smoke like there was before. Okay, that's the end of this test for the bars leak head gasket leaking preventative additive. Thanks for watching.